So we finally got some news about the Mortal Kombat 2021 movie. Not a big splash to start off with, but compared to what we actually have, it is a pretty good amount. And specifically what we got was some still images from the movie and also some story details about it. And in this video, I'm going to be going over that as well as giving you my thoughts on the Mortal Kombat movie. First off, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a big thumbs up and also subscribe and make sure to hit that bell notification so you don't miss my next videos. I'm going to start off with some positivity here because honestly, the more and more I talk about this movie, the more and more you guys will realize that I'm still not very excited for the movie. But again, I will say Liu Kang and Kung Lao look absolutely amazing. I look at these characters, the way they look in the movie, and I say, yes, that is Liu Kang, that is Kung Lao. And I'm very, very glad to see that Kung Lao finally has a great design. Haven't been really a big fan of some of Kung Lao's recent designs, so it's really, really nice to see that Kung Lao in this new iteration of Mortal Kombat looks like Kung Lao. And of course, my favorite character, Liu Kang, looking so freaking awesome, just puts a big smile on my heart. Doing the Mortal Kombat character as well is gonna put a big smile on my heart. But again, specifically Liu Kang, my favorite character, being done well, heck yes, I'm all for it. So I'm really, really looking forward to the Liu Kang elements of the Mortal Kombat movie. Another thing that I was very pleased to see is the way Jax looks in the Mortal Kombat movie. Jax looks pretty darn good. I like the metal arms. I like the way they look. And I was so living for the memes comparing him to Steve Harvey. If you guys were watching my live streams, you guys would know that I was cracking the hell up. So yes, keep on with the Steve Harvey memes. Those are awesome. I'm going to be summarizing the story bits from this exclusive. If you guys want to read everything in detail, I have it linked below. A lot of actually what was talked about was just the blood and the fatalities, and to me, that's a little annoying, but we're going to get into the story stuff first, and then I'll get into my thoughts at the end of the video. So as mentioned, the movie opens between Bi-Han and Hanzo Hasashi, and apparently during this time, they do not have their powers, and eventually they do get them. So that would imply that Bi-Han is not a natural-born cryomancer. That's a little odd. I'm okay with Hanzo not having his powers because that's how it went down in the original timeline. When Bi-Han killed Hanzo, Hanzo did not have his powers, but Bi-Han did because he was a natural-born cryomancer and he was already Sub-Zero at the time. And this apparently takes place during the feudal Japan era of time, and I think that's a little bit too far away because that would imply that these two characters are like these ancient beings. I just don't see the point in putting the characters that far back in time. And I think we can probably guess what's going to happen between Hanzo and Bi-Han in that fight. Bi-Han is probably going to kill Hanzo. And then we cut to the present where we meet Cole Young and we're introduced to our main character of the Mortal Kombat movie, an original character named Cole Young. And so his story is that he is a washed up MMA fighter who used to be a champion, who used to believe in himself, and he had a lot of hope in his career, and it's all gone down the drain. And in the movie, Cole does not know where his heritage comes from, and the only thing that he knows is that he has this birthmark resembling the Mortal Kombat logo. And yeah, we're back in the 90s where having a magic tattoo is considered cool. You know the thing from Annihilation? It's back. It's back. And this whole movie is supposed to be a journey of self-discovery for Cole, and during this journey, that's how we meet the iconic Mortal Kombat characters. And how Cole fits in and why he's involved with the Mortal Kombat characters, at least with the heroes, is that they all also share the same mark that Cole has. And some of those heroes are Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Jax, and Kano for some reason. Kano is a good guy. Kano's on fighting for the side of good, which it's a little weird. And of course, they're fighting in a high-stakes tournament to defeat the invading enemies from Shang Tsung and the forces from the Outer World, which is what they're calling Outworld in the Mortal Kombat movie. Also, by the way, Shang Tsung is now the Emperor of Outworld for some reason. Alright, so let me get into more of my thorough thoughts on the movie and the images that we got and some of the story details that we got. So, I kind of find it puzzling that this was supposed to be a huge big splash reveal because this is the first time we actually get to see what's in the movie, what the characters look like, and what they're going to be doing in the story. And so when you look at the majority of the still images that we got, if you told me that this was for literally any other movie and not for the Mortal Kombat movie, I would probably believe you. For example, if I put this image up on the screen and I said this is not for Mortal Kombat, this is for another movie, I do not believe that many people would disagree with me. The same for this image, and this one, and this one, and this one, and hey, maybe, just maybe, even this one. That's when I think a lot of people would probably break and say, okay, that's probably for Mortal Kombat, but if I told you that's for a series like Game of Thrones, I don't think that many people would not believe me if I said this is for Game of Thrones. Now, to be fair, we did also get images that are deliberately Mortal Kombat, like these two images of Liu Kang and Kung Lao, and this image of Jax. And if you notice when people are talking about the Mortal Kombat movie, those two images of Liu Kang and Kung Lao and the image of Jax just so happen to be the only ones people really bring up on the internet. And I think that's because, let's be honest, the other images don't really give you a reason to be excited for the movie if you weren't already, one, a Mortal Kombat fan, two, excited for this movie in general. I mean, we finally get to see what Kano is going to look like in the Mortal Kombat movie, and their big reveal is having Kano without his most iconic trait, which is his faceplate on his eye, leaving him to look like just a regular dude with some sort of eye disease. And I know you may bring up, okay, maybe he gets the faceplate later on in the movie, and I just say, well then why not just show Kano with his faceplate from that part of the movie? What are they hiding? Like some sort of big spoiler reveal or something like that? Like, wow, big fucking deal. Kano gets his eye faceplate. Wow, Kano gets to look like Kano. I don't think they're actually hiding anything. I think this is actually how Kano's gonna look in the movie. And even in Sub-Zero's case, we get a huge reveal of Sub-Zero in the Mortal Kombat live action movie, one of Mortal Kombat's most iconic characters, and we don't really see him. And so overall, I just find it very, very puzzling that their first big thing to start out with isn't really that big. It's not a big splash. It's a little bit more muted. And what I'm about to bring up is something that you guys need to keep in mind because it's important. This is a movie. This is supposed to target a different audience beyond the Mortal Kombat fans that just play the Mortal Kombat games. Yes, it's targeted towards us, but this is supposed to target a wider audience. And I don't think the images we got really give a reason for that audience to get excited about. Again, let me just put these images on the screen. If you just show these images to a casual moviegoer, I don't think they're going to be excited. However, if you showed an image of Sub-Zero's costume, let's just say he looks like the way he does in Deadly Alliance, I think people would say, ooh, that looks like a cool blue ninja. And the images that people are talking about, again, just so happen to be the Mortal Kombat characters that actually look like the Mortal Kombat characters like Liu Kang, Kung Lao, and Jax. Point being is that I don't think these images do that much to get people excited. I know there are people who are excited, but that's kind of obvious because those who are already were looking forward to this movie and are Mortal Kombat fans. So Mortal Kombat fans naturally are going to get excited for anything new revealed about Mortal Kombat. But those casual audiences or those who just aren't excited for the movie, I don't think this really does any justice for those kind of people. And a big example of this is somebody like Grace Randolph, who is part of that casual movie going audience. She makes videos talking about all movies, and she's made videos talking about Mortal Kombat, but in a very casual way. She's not a huge Mortal Kombat fan, but she knows of Mortal Kombat, she knows of the characters, and she didn't really have that much to say. She basically said, yeah, this is kind of muted. It's kind of not that big of a deal. I, of course, don't want to put words in her mouth or anything, but that's basically what I got from her tweet right here. And remember, she's a very, very popular YouTuber, and there's a lot of people that think exactly like her, so there's probably a lot of people who, again, probably share the same opinion as her. So let's talk about this Cole Young character. Cole Young is going to be the star of the movie, and basically this character is the gateway character for the audience to relate to, so they are entered into the world of Mortal Kombat. That's not a bad idea. The problem is that we already have a Mortal Kombat character that fits that exact purpose. And can you guess who that character is? That's right, Johnny Cage. Let's take a look at Cole's story one more time. When we first meet Cole, he's in a really bad spot. He's down on his luck. He's kind of a washed up MMA fighter who used to be a champion, who used to believe in himself, who used to have a lot of hope in his career, and it's all gone down the drain. It's a very interesting place for a hero to start, and I think that along the journey of Mortal Kombat and Cole discovering where he comes from, you're introduced to all of these iconic characters and elements that everybody loves so dearly. All right, so that's Cole's story. Now let's replace Cole with Johnny and a couple of other things to fit Johnny's story, which, believe me, is not that very different. So when we first meet Johnny, he's in a really bad spot. He's down on his luck. He's kind of a washed up Hollywood actor who used to be an Oscar winner, who used to believe in himself, who used to have a lot of hope in his career, and that's all gone down the drain. It's a very interesting place for a hero to start, and I think that along the journey of Mortal Kombat and Johnny discovering where he comes from, you're introduced to all of these iconic characters and elements that everybody loves so dearly. I just showed you how easy it is to have made this a Johnny Cage story. This was Johnny Cage's role in the first movie, and really, this is Johnny Cage's role in Mortal Kombat history. If you needed an audience surrogate role so they can relate to the world of Mortal Kombat, it's actually better writing to have that surrogate role be filled in with an established Mortal Kombat character. That way, all character development is focused on the Mortal Kombat franchise and the Mortal Kombat characters. And that would make this Mortal Kombat movie proof to other studios who want to adapt different franchises that you do not need an original character and sideline established ones so the audience can enjoy your movie. I also kind of find it annoying that most of what was talked about in this Entertainment Weekly exclusive was talking about how much blood and how much fatalities were in this movie. Like, yes, okay, we get it. You're trying to say this one has fatalities, unlike the 1995 movie. Don't worry, guys, this one has fatalities. I understand why they're doing it, because the dumb casual audience will probably say things like, this movie is not going to be good if it doesn't have fatalities. One of the main things that people said about the 1995 movie is that it didn't have fatalities, but to me, I didn't care because the story was good and it focused more on the characters and the storytelling. And to me, the fatalities have always been a crutch that rarely adds anything to the storytelling, and it gets in the way more often than you think. So I kind of like having Mortal Kombat be PG-13. I'm not going to say no to rated R Mortal Kombat. I think it's good to have that brutalness in your movie. I mean, heck, Scorpion's Revenge is one of my favorite movies of 2020, and that had a lot of blood and gore, but that was never really the focus of that movie. It was kind of just there. And when they talk about the Mortal Kombat movie, they're really always talking about this one has gore, this one has fatalities, and this one is not like the other ones. This one's violent and things like that. And this just puts more fuel on the fire of people thinking that Mortal Kombat is just all about blood and gore. Imagine if we lived in a world where mainly what people know about Mortal Kombat is how the characters are and how great the story is. But hey, lol, fatalities, bro. But you guys can go ahead and let me know what you guys thought about the news dump we got about the Mortal Kombat movie this year. The comments are right there for you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a big thumbs up and subscribe for all things Mortal Kombat. I'll see you guys in the next video.